Sean's one of the fastest, most explosive receivers that I've ever been on a team with. So it's not too many guys that had his style of play.
The next question, Chris Ryan, followed by Andrew Callahan.
Morning, Bill. Wanted to ask you a little bit about the pass rush, and why do you think there's been such significant improvement in that area over the last few weeks?
Well, I mean, relative to the early part of the season, we've created more passing situations, but I'd say overall our execution fundamentals have been better.
And a little bit about Aaron Donald as well. Obviously, he's a dominant player, but relatively speaking, undersized for that position. How do you think he's been able to have the type of success that he's had as a defensive tackle, listed at 6'1" and 285?
He's very quick. He's very explosive. And he's instinctive. He's a good football player. He recognizes things quickly and is able to quickly take advantage of leverage opportunities that are created in line, and you can quickly get to them.
Thanks.
Sure.
Next question, Andrew Callahan, followed by Mark Daniels.
Hey, Bill. Yesterday you mentioned Sean kind of broadening the offense since the last time you guys had played them. I'm wondering if you could just expound upon that and what ways you've seen the offense broaden.
Yeah, it's a lot of little things that they've incorporated. I mean, like we all do, from year to year based on what you're seeing, and as your team shifts and how you get played and attacked, and you find ways to counteract that. So he's done a good job of that. It's a lot of little things, a lot of technical things, but they're important and they all add up.
And then defensively, Coach Staley in his first year, how much overlap do you see from the system he came from with Coach Fangio, and what might be different that he's applied in LA?
Yeah, I think there's certainly some carryover from Coach Fangio's system, especially from a coverage standpoint. It looks like maybe a little bit of a merger between some front concepts and Vic's coverage packages. But regardless, they give you some different looks. They're obviously a very good defense. They're at the top of the league in almost every category. They're hard to move the ball against. They make you earn everything. They don't make many mistakes. There's no easy plays. They don't give up many big plays. So, it's a team that has good talent and a lot of good matchups and a good scheme to go with it. So they do a really good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next question, Mark Daniels, followed by Doug Kyde.
Hey, Bill, on Aaron Donald, just how rare of a player is he when you just factor in his size, his production, and just sort of who he is?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we've seen players like that, throughout the league from time to time. But he's an outstanding player. He's got a record game, and there's no play that he's not a factor on. And he's right in the middle of defense. You can't really get away from him on any run or pass play. You gotta deal with him, block him on every play. So yeah, he's definitely a major factor in the game. But we're gonna have to do a good job on it. But that's the way it's been.
Thank you.
Mark Daniels, followed by Doug Kyde.
I just want to say.
Oh, sorry. Looking at the list here. Doug Kyde, followed by Mike Reese.
Bill, what do you remember about your time with Kevin O'Connell for the year that he was in the system? And did you think that coaching might be in his future?
Yeah, well, again, at that point, it was really about, Kevin, becoming a player and focusing on playing and learning our offense. And, learning things in the NFL defenses and so forth. So, yeah, I mean, we're sort of thinking too much about that. But, smart kid, had a good career, good arm. It's not really surprising that it's gone this way, but I wouldn't say that at that point, that was something that any of us were thinking too much about. I mean, he was 22 years old, trying to be an NFL quarterback.
Do you see any of his influence or any specific influence from him in the Rams offense this year?
Yeah, again, that'd be a hard question for me to answer, not being, that involved with it. So it's probably something you could ask them. But again, they're progressive. They've added some things, whose idea they are and who did what. I mean, I wouldn't know that.
Thanks.
Next question, Mike Reese, followed by Alan Siegel.
Bill, on Sony Michel, seeing him show up on special teams, how new is that for him? And on the punt return that Gunnar returned, did you see much similarity between how he handled that to the play from a few days, the week before with the penalty on Jennings, the blind side?
Yeah, we had a couple examples of that on a couple of returns. So just being a little more cautious there. But yeah, Sony's always been had a role in the kicking game since his rookie year, since we got him, at least as a backup. So he's practiced there, he's worked there, and he did a good job for us there. We're carried kind of been heavy on the roster in terms of defensive backs and wide receivers in the kicking game, and so some of those roles have rolled more to running backs, tight ends, linebackers, and defensive linemen. So it's been a combination of different guys, and he's one of them. So he's smart, he's athletic, he's tough. So it's he can handle some responsibilities in that area.
Next question, Alan Siegel, followed by Steve Weiss.
Good morning, Bill. I noticed, obviously, there's a lot of attention paid to Aaron Donald and the talent that he has, but I've also noticed that they get a lot of sacks from their linebackers, especially a game against Russell Wilson several weeks ago. Is that something that you have to be wary of, putting too much attention on Donald, which opens it up for the linebackers to come in with the pass rush?
Yeah, again, Alan, they give you a lot of problems. They have a lot of good players, Brockers and Floyd, and and then they blitz some, and so not an inordinate amount, but they just mix it all in there, and you got to be careful about letting Donald ruin the game, but at the same time, if you put so many guys on Donald, then that creates problems other places. So it's a good defense. It's well designed, and as I said, they create problems for the offense, and there's no real simple answer. That's why they're first or whatever it is, second or third in the league, and just about every defensive category. So it's challenging.
Thanks, Bill.
You're welcome.
And two final questions, Steve Weiss and Yofei Chin.
Hey, Bill, Steve White. Just kind of want to get your thoughts on what you've seen from Jared Goff, because the last couple of weeks he's had some issues with takeaways, and he comes back with a solid performance. Just kind of what you've seen from him and maybe his improvement, or just some thoughts on him.
Yeah, a good player. Certainly can make all the throws. They have a variety of offensive plays and concepts. Play action game, the drop back game, empty game, some moving pocket plays, and so as well as handling the line of scrimmage responsibilities, making their checks. This is a team that check a decent number of plays at the line. So all the things that he's involved in, He carries a lot of responsibility with the team, and they're still one of the top offensive teams in the league. Got to be in the top, whatever it is, 4 or 5, rushing, passing, everything else. So he runs the show, and he's, like I said, has a lot of responsibilities, and does a good job with it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Last question, Yofei Chen.
Morning, Bill. Last Sunday, JC had another interception, but he could have just batted away. Obviously, in that situation, it didn't really matter too much. But from a coaching's perspective, where do you find that fine line between, letting your players have their moment on the field, and asking them to put teams' interest first?
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes when you're going for the ball like that, you just, it's an instinctive thing, and I think he had a chance to run with it, and then he kind of lost his balance there, and wasn't able to, to stay on his feet. But sometimes there's more than just taking the ball right away. But right at that spot, if you know that you're not going to gain any more yardage, and that's what it is, then you might be better off knocking it down. But when you intercept the pass, it's not like there's a lot of great tacklers on the field on the other side of the ball. So, if you can get by 1 or 2 guys, you might have a chance for a big play. So, I think the defensive backs and linebackers are always thinking, when they get the ball, try to take advantage of those opportunities and turn into a big play. So, players just got to make a quick judgment on that.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you.
Order ahead on the Dunkin' app to get running on game day. Whether you're a Patriots fan or a Dunkin' fan.
Yes.
DD Perks members get a $1 medium hot or iced coffee when you order from the app on Patriots game day.
In New England, we are resilient. It takes hard work to earn respect. Sometimes it takes decades. And it always takes someone being on your side.
Ready or not.
Gillette ProGlide and ProGlide Gel. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke while washing away dirt and oil. So you're ready for the day with a clean shave and a clean face.
For over 60 years, this team has transformed itself into a championship organization. For over 160 years, our team has demonstrated a similar mentality. There are no days off. Our front lines are fortified by people who sacrifice individuality for the team. Our shelves are also stocked with the best quality products and ingredients. Our team members know their roles. We're proud to do our jobs. Shaw's, the official supermarket of the 6-time champion New England Patriots.
Order ahead on the Dunkin' app to get running on game day. Whether you're a Patriots fan or a Dunkin' fan.
Yes.
DD Perks members get a $1 medium hot or iced coffee when you order from the app on Patriots game day.
In New England, we are resilient. It takes hard work to earn respect. Sometimes it takes decades.